19-14 from Austin, Texas. Good ball game right now. Let's check in Bristol in the studio with Larry Burnett. Make it 2nd and 9 as Foreman gained only a yard that time. He's carried 10 times for 48 yards and a touchdown in the ballgame. One thing Arkansas likes to do on offense is establish that fullback. Thomas on the option, and he is dropped at the 25-yard line by Thomas Aldridge, 97. Very, very quick defensive end.
Well, this is the 3rd play he's made in their backfield tonight. He's very quick. 4-7 as a defensive end. It's very unusual. He gets penetration right here. He'll just split the blockers and make the play. Really takes both the pitch man. He took that away, and he took the quarterback right down. The key for this Texas defense are those defensive ends, Browner and Aldridge. If they're quick, they get up the field, they get penetration. It takes a lot of pressure off the tackles and the backers.
Here's what happens to a wishbone team they don't like to see. They go in a 3rd and 14 situation, but Thomas, a much more effective passer this year. Dumps it short sideline, complete. Got it out there to Johnson, but Hagee makes the tackle well short of a 1st down. And Texas gets a nice hand from the home crowd here in Austin as they have held on defense again.
That was a good pass rush right there. Made him dump it to the short man. No chance for the 1st down.
Greg Horn, well below his NCAA #1 average of 49.7. That's Metcalf, the deep man, who has had a big game tonight as a starter. Not a good kick by Horn again, and Metcalf on the bounce. The flag is down as Metcalf gets to the 40-yard line.
He is so quick.
That one had a hang time of only 2.5 seconds, a 41-yard kick, and that is not the Greg Horn that they are used to seeing here. And the call is going to be a clip against Arkansas, so instead of having it at the 40, they're going to be back inside their 25.
I felt young again yesterday. Greg Horn came up to me. He's averaging 49.7, leading the country, and he's asking me how to punt.
Yeah, you see the result
obviously,
tonight?
I'm not a coach. My future special teams coach is down the drain.
His average has gone down 10 yards just after a conversation with him.
And they're low.
Let alone tips.
Flipping, receiving team on the run back, 1st down.
One of the little horns. Texas 1st and 10. The ball spotted at the 20. Norris 34 and Edwin Simmons 33. The running backs behind Stafford. Simmons gets a couple. Let's check in with Larry Burnett for another scoreboard update. Larry?
All right, it's turning into a rout at Purdue. Boilermakers were trying to make a game of it in the 3rd quarter against Ohio State. But Doug Downing's pass is intercepted by David Brown. That's not bad enough. Look at Brown. He takes it 4 yards deep in the end zone, has a convoy going up across midfield. He's going 104 yards on the return. They call it 100. Anyway, it's the longest in Ohio State history, and the Buckeyes are leading 29-3.
Thank you, Larry. Been a tough year for the Boilermakers. 2nd and 8. Simmons trying to cut it back, nowhere to go, and they'll bury him in the backfield. Darren Norris, number 34. If Norris had taken the man outside on the sweep, Simmons would have had room to run, but for some reason he went inside and left Simmons all alone.
Well, it's not often you get a running back loses 8 yards and breaks about 10 tackles. Looks like he's going to cut inside right there. He cuts out. He breaks that tackle easily. He's 6'4". He's very strong, but there's just nowhere to go. Now he puts a nice move here, but there's 6'7" guys. He took 10 seconds to lose 8 yards on that play.
Simmons paid for it. 3rd and 16. Stafford hitting 50% of his passes. Has 90 yards and an interception. 3-man rush. Deep over the middle again and broken up. They were throwing for Johnson, and Atwater really got the shot on him. And when the ball hangs up there that long, the receiver knows he's in trouble.
Well, they're going back to this play too often here. Arkansas has changed their defensive strategy. They're going to a 3 deep now. They have a middle safety. Atwater is waiting for these balls deep into the post, and he's going to either take a receiver's head off or he's going to intercept the next one. Earlier, they were going with the 2 deep safety splitting, and it was easy to go up the middle. They're going to have to start going with the outside routes now.
Waits has not had a great night punting either. He's back to kick to Shebest. High snap, got it down. End over end. Shebest hustling after it, can't get to it. And it will be down by Texas at the 45-yard line. Timeout, 11:10 to go in the quarter. We're tied at 14. Deep over the middle, tried to hit Shebest, covered by Jeffries, and the flag is down. And Jeffries obviously had contact with Shebest on the play. On the pass, it was overthrown.
Well, they ran the right play there, and really that shouldn't have been interference because Jeffries shouldn't have interfered because the ball was about 20 feet over the receiver's head. No way it was going to be caught.
Disregard the flag, uncatchable pass.
Exactly what you said, Mr. Analyst. The ball was overthrown, and I don't like that rule. I think if there is contact, whether the ball is catchable or not, I think it makes it a judgment call. Why give him another judgment call?
Let's watch Shebest on his play. Again, he's very good at man-to-man coverage, beating it. But Jeffries is going to play him real tight here. And he cuts inside. This ball's real high. It's not catchable. Of course, to any receiver with our egos, we always thought we could pull him down. But that's a good call by the referee. But that's a good move by Arkansas to put that ball up on first down.
Wasn't a lot of contact on the play either. Thomas to throw again, this time on second down. Got his tight end, Theo Young. And it's enough for a first down. Senegal had to make the tackle. They worked a lot on passing in the spring this year, something they had not done a year before when Thomas was going to be their quarterback.
Well, let's watch this defensive line to see if they're going to be able to put enough pressure on him. Right here, Espinoza, number 94, right in the screen. They're going to run the stunt. The one guy goes inside, and here comes the backer. Ineffectively, they don't get to him. He throws the ball, and Theo Young wide open again. You know, they call him the best wide receiver they've ever had at tight end. He only has 3 catches this year.
Thomas now passing 4 out of 6, 46 yards. And they'll go back to the ground game with the big center, Derek Thomas. And Thomas just bulls his way to the 32-yard line with Mike January getting the free ride.
The problem with this...
Let's go down to Tim Brando on the sideline.
There have been a number of injuries in this game for Texas in their backs. Eric Metcalf, of course, was hurt. Now they're working on Edwin Simmons right now, his right ankle, and it seems a bit tentative right now, and there is a severe question as to whether or not Edwin will be able to return to this game.
Thanks, Tim. And there's a young man who has had his share of injuries and a lot more. Van Dyke gets across the 30 to maybe the 20.
I was going to say earlier, the problem with that stunt we saw in the replay was that the linebackers are not coordinated with those front four. They haven't played. They're very young. And the guy came much too late. The backer came late, and he was easily picked up by the offensive line. So that timing between the defensive line and the backers just isn't there for Texas. Those stunts are very intricate, and they have to be done quickly.
Third down, 2 yards to go. The up man in the wishbone is Thomas. Derek Thomas. And he'll get the ball. And he's very close to first down territory. And where they're marking it, he appears to have it by at least a half a yard. Steelhammer on the tackle. There is Simmons, and they've got the ice pack on it. Young man has had how many knee operations?
5 knee operations. Now he has an ankle. It's really sad. He's so fired up for this game. He's worked so hard to come back from so many injuries, and he gets another one the first night back.
He got the touchdown in the first half. It is a first down for Arkansas on the march. Johnson wrapped up at the 16-yard line. Braggs makes a head-high tackle, and it looked like he got a piece of the face mask. Joe Johnson just burst through the middle on that play.
Well, there are plays when there's just no defensive lineman near it.
And it is the face mask.
A couple of those options they round wide, a couple of the quick openers they had with Foreman in the first half, and here Johnson just takes the ball, and there's just no one in front of him.
Face mask, 5 yards. It's first down.
Well, this is a pretty vicious face mask here. I don't know how they only figured it was a 5-yarder. Just no problem here as far as the hole goes, and he is grabbed, and he's really pulled down. That's more than a 5-yarder to me. I don't know how you could get any more flagrant than that. He almost ripped his head off.
First and 10, Razorbacks at the Texas 11. They get to the 9 with Thomas straight up the middle. Senior, 223 pounds, stopped by David McAdoo, another new linebacker in there for Texas, number 62. McAdoo, a redshirt freshman out of Plainview, Texas. We're going to have teenagers at linebacker shortly.
Well, these guys are. They're true freshmen, a couple of them.
I mean, you're going to have 15-year-olds in
high school.
Fred Akers has really suffered with injuries at linebacker. Johnson, touchdown Arkansas. And once again, Pat, in that situation, in a 43 defense, the linebackers have to make tackles, and they're not there very often.
No, they just split Llewellyn and Aldridge. It's an easy score.
This is Kendall Trainer for the point after, and he's got it. And Arkansas goes back on top for the third time in the ballgame.
Yeah, let's see what it would look like if we were playing linebacker. They don't have anybody doing it right now. They just split the defensive line, and again, that's all they have to do. They beat the linemen, and they can't do it all themselves. There's just no one left to make the tackle. You know, I asked him yesterday, well, what do you do? How are you going to protect yourself if the backers don't have time? He says, we just got to get them in the game and let them play.
Timeout with 8:05 to go in the quarter. Arkansas up by a touchdown.
I could never kick a ball barefooted. It hurts.
Dangerous scene for Texas. Nelson and Brown, and it's to Nelson's side, but it will go out of bounds, and that will cost Arkansas 5 yards. Arkansas with a good scoring drive this time, 54 yards on 8 plays. And Pat, they really victimized the lack of experience at linebacker that Texas has. We're not trying to harp on it so much, but it's become a big part of almost every running play.
Well, it's very frustrating, particularly for that front four. Bronner, Espinoza, Llewellyn, and Aldridge are playing great games. All of them, they really are. They're putting pressure on the passers. They're stopping the fullback most of the time, but they just have those quick openers. If they don't absolutely make the play, then the back is just splitting the zone and there's no one left. And of course, if you're a safety, you're not too happy about it either. They have too many tackles.
That's right. Braggs has been in on about 90% of the tackles tonight. And you want good run support, but enough is enough. Franklin to kick it away. Nelson and Brown now waiting at the 12. Low line drive kick, and Nelson's going to have to chase it down, hoping it'll go out of bounds. And it finally did. That'll cost him another 5 yards. Nelson gambled and won on that one. And Kenny Franklin is now running out of room to kick. Going to update you on some other scores. LSU come from behind. They are now leading Jerry Clayborn's Wildcats 18-13. Florida State laying it on Wichita State. This one is a hard one to believe. The Demon Deacons of Wake Forest are pounding Maryland at College Park. And after a great start, and here is our Saturday night special. Load them up. Lane leading Miles 7-0. Second quarter. Stay tuned. It's not over yet.
Where are those two schools?
I don't know.
No idea myself.
Those might be two individuals for all I know. Franklin kicking off. This is Brown. 18 or make it the 13-yard line. He gets it back to about the 32. Tim Brando down on the sideline with a former great Texas player. Tim?
Yeah, I want to take you back in time. Let's see, 1969 the year, 4th and 3 the play, and you say it wasn't Cotton Spire, even though he gets a lot of credit, that made the catch to beat Arkansas, as it turned out.
Randy Peschel was in there and made that catch. It was, in fact, it was his first game, first big play, and he doesn't get any credit for the catch.
There were some great stories. I know a humbling experience indeed to win the national title, and then the Freddie Steinmark story. It was outstanding, an outstanding year for the University of Texas.
It brings back many memories for me, but Freddie Steinmark, I think, had as much to do. He depicted our whole team and the attitude and spirit of that team that year.
Jimmy, thank you for taking time out to join us. I know that the national championship that you got has a lot to do with why they expect a great deal from the University of Texas year in and year out.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Jimmy Street, who did it all back in the late 60s here at UT. Let's go back to Mike and Pat.
Metcalf with his 11th carry of the game, and the one he'll probably remember more than any others is Ricky Wilson just turned him upside down. 2nd and 8 for Texas. They're now down by a touchdown. Stafford, quick screen out there, and it's dropped by Nelson. And a flag is down. Sorry, in the last tackle I said Ricky Wilson. It was Ricky Williams, 57. He's going to move your screen right now. Young man has been slowed by a sprained ankle. Missed the New Mexico State game. Missed a lot of practice this week. When he's healthy, he's a great player, though.
Plays a cello when he has time free from football, too.
Disregard the flag. Second down.
Disregard the flag. No penalty.
Well, Williams is the linebacker, and he plays the cello, and the other linebacker, Harris, plays the tuba and piano. So I think you could, you know, objectively say that those linebackers are instrumental to that defense.
Somehow I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, it's true. How often do you see linebackers that play those things?
Still wish you hadn't said instrumental, but
The cellist is definitely first string.
3rd and 8. There's just no response to puns except groans. Stafford to throw. 4-man rush. Bradford after him, can't get him. And he throws it away. Might have hit Nelson with it. Atwater over there on coverage. Stafford did a good job. Couldn't find a receiver to begin with and then scrambled and got rid of it. But Texas will have to punt it away now.
Well, sometimes you get tired of hearing 40 times all the time, and I do get 40-yard dash times. But Stafford, you know, he's a quarterback, and he runs a 4.5 40. He won the high school state title in 300 meters, and he really throws a nice ball. So it's very unusual to have that combination in a quarterback, and it's come in handy tonight.
Waits into punt to Shebest with 7:09 to go, 3rd quarter, and it's still Arkansas by a touchdown. Low line drive bombed over the head of Shebest, and it will take the bounce. He'll have to let it go, and it's out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Big break for the Texas Longhorns as Waits got away a low line drive kick, but he got the bounce. 59-yard punt. We'll be back in a moment. 7. And there are some of the fans that have been dissatisfied with Fred Akers' performance. Really hate to see that kind of thing. The man's only won 75% of his game. 2nd and 7. They'll give it to Johnson this time. He gets maybe a yard. And Dwayne Duncombe back in there at middle linebacker makes the tackle again. Tim Brando has an update from the sideline. Tim?
We told you earlier, Mike and Pat, that Edwin Simmons was a severe question mark. He did have a rather severe right ankle sprain. They have wrapped it a couple of times. And after talking with the trainer and then the trainer talking to him a second time, he said, look, I'm going back in the game and give this thing a whirl after what I've gone through in the last year or so with my knee. This ankle's not going to stop me, so don't be surprised if 33 in burnt orange isn't out there on the next series.
Probably take 5 of the biggest guys you could find to keep him out of there. 3rd and 5. Thomas. He's got room to run and got to the 19-yard line, and it should be enough for the first down. Jeffries made the stop, but he got a fine block from his physical 280-pound center, Brian White.
Well, that was an interesting formation. They took their tight end, Theo Young, and they split him wide to the wide side of the field, which really opened up the roll back to the short side for Thomas, who picked up the first down. Nice job of coaching there.
Considering the size and inexperience of that Texas defense, going against guys like White, 280, and Childress, the right guard, at 305, Texas has done a fine job on defense. Van Dyke. And Van Dyke gets up to the 24-yard line, where January and Griffin brought him down. January's played pretty well, even though he's a 5th-year senior. He had not played from scrimmage before this year.
Well, let's watch 78, Limbo Parks. He's all SWC last year, all conference, blocking Espinoza, or Llewellyn, who's a good player. His first game again starting, and he took care of him right there. That's a left guard taking on a defensive tackle. That's an excellent job.
2nd and 4. They give it to Johnson. Johnson pinned again. It's January, who's played a pretty good ball game tonight. He's been the only linebacker who's been in on many tackles.
Well, to put it into perspective how well the defensive line's done for Texas, you mentioned, well, Limbo Parks was all conference last year, and then Childress is the biggest player to ever play there at the other guard, and the center's 280. I mean, they're very large up there in the front 3, center and 2 guards, and they're doing a good job stopping them.
Childress is one of the biggest players to play anywhere.
310 pounds. They'd say if he can keep it down near 300, he could be the best lineman in the country.
3rd and a yard for Arkansas. And that's Foreman. Got to the 30, should be enough for another first down. Now the Razorbacks seem to have control of the line of scrimmage, and they're grinding it out a little bit. And it is a first down.
Let's watch Parks again against Llewellyn. Right there in the middle of your screen. They knocked him back. That's what you need. On the first, you know, they wanted that first down. If you could get him back a little bit, a little surge, you just need a yard or two. Limbo Parks did his job. Those guys are going at each other every single play.
Arkansas now starting to win it in the statistical category. And the rushing yards now up to 150. They average 249 yards a game. Foreman again. Llewellyn on his back and gets the ride up to about the 34-yard line.
Well, this is one reason you don't want to be trailing Arkansas. When they have the lead, they're able to give the ball to their fullbacks and they can really run the clock down.
Plus, if you get ahead of a wishbone team, it's very difficult for them to catch up. Although, as we said, Arkansas, one of the better passing teams out of that wishbone formation.
Well, yours was a better point. You're right. Much tougher for wishbone team to come back.
Foreman now 13 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Dig in this time and stop Joe Johnson, who got the ball.
Steve Llewellyn's going to take this with 93 right on the top of your screen. Takes on Parks and gets rid of him. Just cleans him right out. And right there, notice if he hadn't made that tackle, if he hadn't gotten rid of Parks, the running back would have had a seam right up there and had a big gain again. So he had to do two jobs right there. Again, no linebacker in the picture.
3rd and 4 from the 36. Arkansas 5 out of 10 on 3rd down conversions. And it's the fullback stopped by Llewellyn. Foreman got 4, but not enough for the first down. January also in on the stop, number 28. But Llewellyn getting better with the more experience. And he's a load of 271 out of Fort Worth.
Well, he played a lot last year. He had 52 tackles. And it's not a surprise he'd figure out how to handle this offensive line. He was not only an All-America in the high school as a player, he was also All-American academically. He's showing it right there. He's made the adjustments. Looks like a quick punt formation here.
Horn will come on to punt. Metcalf isn't back there yet. He's hustling, trying to get back. And Horn just airs one out. And it goes into the end zone.
He didn't need to be back.
A 61-yard punt for Greg Horn. It was in the air for 4.6 seconds. 1:59 to go in the quarter. It's still Arkansas by a touchdown. Tailback went out earlier with an ankle injury. And this is Simmons on the sweep. Made 2 cuts. Only got back to the line of scrimmage, however. Atwater came up from the safety spot to make the tackle again. And Atwater is tough against the run.
Well, we mentioned Ricky Williams earlier, number 57. He's a big hitter right here for Arkansas on the left side of your screen. He's going to come along laterally. He just ignores all the moves, gets in, gets on the ankle there. Wasn't a big hit, but a very effective play. He didn't give him the inside cutback. And that's what a good linebacker does. Moves laterally and takes away the cutback.
3rd and 2, and Metcalf is back in the ball game as Simmons trots off. Stafford hits Johnson. First down, 43-yard line. Ricky Williams on coverage, but Gabriel Johnson ran that quick post or quick slant over the middle, and Stafford hit him.
Well, that was a nice little 3-man pattern. They ran Metcalf a little deep, and they brought Johnson back underneath him with the hook. They had Gay running the outside corner off. Very nice call at 3rd and 2. Nice throw. They're getting Stafford a lot of time. He's standing back there and picking his receivers well.
Robertson, 45, comes in for Johnson, 31, and Simmons is back in at the tailback for Metcalf on 1st and 10, 43. Norris, and he plows ahead, 47, maybe 48-yard line. On top of him is Charles Washington and Kerry Crawford, and that will be the last play of the 3rd period. The quarter is over in Austin, Texas, where Arkansas continues to lead the Longhorns 21-14. Saw 2nd and 7. Stafford, another quarterback draw. He'll only get 3 out of this one to midfield.